Today we're editing music, trimming it down, choosing the parts of the music we want and stitching them together. And I'm going to illustrate why you want to manually trim a track instead of having a software do it for you. So I have this edit here for BBC 7 Worlds 1 Planet. 4 music tracks in this edit. We're going to use the music in this as examples. First one here for the cold open, we'll start with that. Let's just break down this track and hopefully we learn something from this exercise. This track is called One with the World, very apt for a nature documentary. 4 minutes long, we're going to cut it down. Obviously I had to prepare for this video, so I put these markers up top to help move this process along. We'll listen to the track as we go through it. I'm just going to cut up the track according to these green markers. So why have I done this? These are different sections of the track, so cut them out based on the first beat of each section. So music with beats will always be easier to cut because they are very clear indications of where your edit points should join. So these parts of the track are exactly the same, but as it progresses, more instruments are added. So the track becomes bigger and bigger. And if I lay them over each other, all the beats match. You can also see from the waveforms that they all line up. What this means is that I can shorten the track by using different sections from any part of this track, and if I time it right, it shouldn't sound stupid. This last section here has a bit more fanfare, different from the first 3. So I don't really have music terms for what things are called, so I'm just going to do it and hopefully it'll all make sense. I'm going to make a cut point here where the music starts to change, and also a cut point where my ending beat is, because 100% I want to keep that end beat. These orange markers up here are the midpoints of each section. I'm going to add a couple more cuts. Okay, let's pause for a bit. I'm just going to indicate things so we know what's going on. So ideally, when we cut music, we want to maintain the integrity of what has been composed. So this is what I want from the track. Pink 1A, blue 1B, yellow for part 2 because that's where the bigger beats are, and parts of dark blue to end. So why do I want the pink and blue? Why can't I just use either? I mean, you really can do whatever you want, but as I mentioned before, the music gets grander and grander as it progresses, and yellow is quite epic, so I want a gradual progression to that epic rather than epic come out of nowhere. Okay, delete. This one, don't want, delete. I want to end with this beat, don't want these smaller, slower beats, delete. Don't need so many beats at the end, trim, add a dissolve. You might also want to add dissolves at the other cut points because you want your instruments to bleed into the previous section. Let's have a listen. So there, our 4-minute track is now 1 minute. So this whole exercise was just to show you how to cut a track. But we did this for the BBC edit, so let's go back. So our cold open had to be between 30 to 40 seconds. And what we have here, only 34 seconds. So the same track we used for the exercise, we've cut to 34 seconds. So this one is a bit more advanced. Apart from the deleting, we closed the gaps between these piano sounds. So comparison here for you. So you can see that these are a lot closer than the original. And this is what we cut out. And we timed these sections so that they're equal. And you can see from the duplicate markers where we've used the track, so all kind of spaced out. So let's hear it, see if it sounds alright.
One of the challenges with filming 7 Worlds, 1 Planet is finding new stories. 2 camera crews out there, 3 cameras, a drone. And it was a real struggle. So you've got to be in the right place at the right time if you want to capture it.
That was alright. So now I have a track here that was shortened by Audition. So it was an automatic trim, and this is what Audition gave me.
One of the challenges with filming 7 Worlds, 1 Planet is finding new stories. 2 camera crews out there, 3 cameras, a drone. It was a real struggle. So you've got to be in the right place at the right time if you want to capture it.
Now obviously the edit wasn't timed to this track, but already so much less feeling than what we had when we did it manually. So you really want to be cutting these tracks yourself so that you can dictate how the edit feels. The next few tracks, not so hard, just have to end them properly. This track here, no beats. You want to time it to this sound. So it works all the way till this point. I want to end it on the interview. Find the last beat, move it in. Okay, that sounds a bit weird. So sometimes this happens. So what you can do is to push the edit point in or out, add a dissolve and see if that works. And it does.
Asia is the largest of all the continents. We've got the tallest jungles, the highest mountains, the hottest deserts. It's got an incredible variety. So the challenge with Asia is choosing 8 or 9 stories out of all the many that we could have picked.
This one here with the beats, easy enough. Paused here for dramatic effect. Continued from the big beats. Okay, here the track ends pretty abruptly. So did this on purpose because I wanted a semi-jarring intro into the snow and the silence. So if you're gonna end music like this, you can help it out with a sound effect. Last track, super easy. Add the ending beat, add a dissolve.
There's a particular favourite story of mine that we did choose. It's an animal that Sir David Attenborough first wanted to film over 60 years ago, but he never ever got the opportunity to go and film it. And then 60 years later, we came back with some footage and showed him this remarkable looking animal. It's got this blue face and this gorgeous golden fur. It's the golden snub-nosed monkey. And it was such a joy to be able to show David this footage after 60 years and say, look, at last we've filmed this animal. And it's a wonderful sequence of how they look after each other in the cold mountains in China.
So that concludes today's lesson on how to cut music. Hopefully this helped you. If not, watching animals is always fun.